I'm Cindy.
I'm Joe.
I'm Maria.
And we have a very special guest with us today. Rego, there she goes.
What's up, gang?
As you can tell, we're in a very different place right now. Thank you to our sponsor, Cafe Walnut. Logo right here.
Right here.
If you are looking for a Korean-owned coffee shop right here in the city, make sure you come down to 7th and Walnut for some bulgogi breakfast sandwiches and some specialty iced coffee drinks and teas.
Ask for Chris.
So Rego, you want to let us know about who you are? You're going to tell the audience everything about what you do?
Well, what's up, guys? My name's Rego. Regothershego.
Woo!
And I'm a singer, performing artist, advocate, and I was performing and I lived in Philly for like the past 8 years, and I just moved to New York City to Brooklyn. But Philly is like where I became the artist I am today. And so yeah, I'm excited to be here because when I was here in Philly, we did not have VietLish here. And I did not have a Vietnamese community. Cindy hit me up. I was like, definitely, absolutely. And so
Yeah.
to be back.
Yeah, we're super excited to have you. But you have a community with us now, so please come back always. We're always welcome on the podcast. So how did you and Cindy meet?
For those who also don't know, I'm half Guatemalan, half Vietnamese. Rego is also half Guatemalan, half Vietnamese. And I literally thought it was a dream. I thought it was a lie.
No.
But I want to hear from your point of view of like that night we met.
So you had asked me to talk about this, and I was like trying to run through my head, and I think that we met at the Sunflower Philly.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
It was like some random performance. I might have performed for a second. I really forget, but is Sunflower Philly still doing shit?
No.
Either way, there's a bunch of performances happening at Sunflower Philly, and I remember like somehow we started talking to each other, and then we just got into a really deep conversation like right away, just like our heritage and culture, and like maybe it's because like my last name or something, but then like somehow we found out that like you're like, oh, Mina's I'm Vietnamese, blah blah blah, and I was like, I'm Vietnamese too, but you know what? It's like so hard being a mixed baddie out here. And then you're like, what are you mixed with? And then found out that you're Guatemalan, so am I, and it was literally like so
yeah, it was like a soul bonding moment.
Yeah.
Like video of moleculars combination. But I have yet to ever meet anyone else with this same mix out there, and so we're like forever bonded.
Absolutely. And I tell people all the time. So actually, I'm gonna give credit where credit's due. Max Ho was like, Cindy, I found another you. And I'm like, you are lying to me. I was like, because I've never met someone else who was from the same background. It was only like my brothers and I. And then he brought me over to you. And like, yeah, instantly our eyes locked. And it just felt like we were meant to be here together.
Combustion.
Yeah, combustion. And we started talking about just like our heritage and just like about like stuff like our trauma.
I remember talking to, we were like, we need to make a podcast or something.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that you're doing it.
That's so crazy.
Basically foreshadowing what's happening
yeah,
today. Yeah.
It was all meant to be.
I got like low key emotional that day. I was like, I found someone like me who understands me.
I think it's tough. We'll probably get into it like a little bit later, but it's it really being biracial, and especially from two cultures that are just like a little bit different. Like we were talking about stuff like just being Asian, like it's all about respect. Which I love.
Yeah.
But then being Hispanic, like respect is about embracing. It's so much more of like punchy sort of thing, and I always felt so much tension in that because it's like I would go to my dad's house, who's Guatemalan, and they'd be like, "You're cold. Why don't you give us a hug?" And then I go to my mom's place, and then she'd be like, "Whoa, why are you so like touchy?"
Like,
Too much touching.
Well, that's why I wore the shirt, like hug your homies.
I'm
I
dead.
embrace it, but like I feel you on that because it's just like my dad is very like he's not cold, like he's a very like he's like he ham choys a lot. But it's just one of those things of like we didn't grow up in like in a huggy feeling way, and so like now growing up, I'm like everyone loves me.
Yes.
Yeah. Please hug me.
I know.
I'm a hugger. I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel like definitely Vietnamese family growing up. is it as touchy? Like we do like little light hugs maybe once in a while and barely get an I love you, you know? Is that one of those
It's more
things?
like
I know.
they're there.
Yeah, they're
They're
there.
there.
It's okay. Stop being a little bitch. Yeah, yeah. Literally, like, yeah, I would go to a party and I would just say like, oh, chao ko, chao chu, and then that was the end of it. And then they talk smack about me, about my face and weight, and then that was it. That was love. Yeah.
I'm a hugger. I'm a hugger.
Where do you think you got that from? Like, what side?
I
just it came.
I think it's just my family. We're just
We're just huggers.
huggers. I guess
Yeah.
like the Vietnamese side gotten used to is like hugging. Cause I kind of enjoy you guys hugging me.
Yeah.
It's like say less. And plus we're like taller and bigger than them, so like all the aunties are short, so it's like hugging a little baby doll.
Aw.
So cute.
Yeah.
I do think like that's the one thing I can relate to from like being a Latin and the Asian side was just like the get over it, like you'll be all right type of mentality. So I've learned to be like, I gotta get through this, right now. So, but Rego, can you talk about how you got into like the music field? Like, did you like grow up one day? Were you 8 years old and be like, I want to be a singer, or like, how did you discover it, and like, how was your path into the music industry?
Yeah. So I guess like I did not believe, and it's probably because of like I'm a daughter of immigrants. Like my dad came here without papers, and like God bless, he was able to find his means and way to citizenship here in this country, which is a lot harder now than it was
Yes.
before.
Mm-hmm.
But so like with that mentality, it was like, be a doctor.
Oh,
Be a lawyer,
Yeah.
like all of that. So
Yeah.
I ended up in Philly because I was like studying political science, and like
Okay.
I was like totally on that path. Like I was like, okay, I need to like get my PhD in political science and be a good immigrant daughter. But while I was here, like I mean, when I was a kid, if I admit to myself, I'd always like my parents would yell at me, and I'd like go to my room and like be an 8-year-old scribbling in my journal, and I'd like write songs, and I just like write poetry and just kind of love.
yeah.
Yeah.
Twin vibes.
But it was always like a secret that I like didn't believe was real, you
Yeah.
know? Like I kind of always was just like, this is what I love to do, and like God, I would like pray. My parents were pastors, so I like was really instilled in the Christian faith, and I would always pray and just be like, God, like I would love to like be a singer. But I remember like telling my mom when I was a kid, and they're asking me like, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah.
And I like told her, I was like, I would love to be a singer.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, in her typical Vietnamese way, she was like, that's so cute, honey, but like like not a lot of you some hard path.
I know.
To listen to your voice.
Knowing
Yo,
like,
She
oh my
killed that
God.
dream early.
Yes.
That's so fun.
Same thing. My Guatemalan mom.
You got a mama?
Me side, yeah.
Yeah.
My Guatemalan mom, when I was like, I want to help people, I want to be a social worker. She's like, that's great. You can help people being a nurse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Make more money.
I feel like Asian moms are going to be like, you want to sing so bad, I can plug in the karaoke. You could sing all day in the house. Right?
I'm dead.
Free 99.
Yeah, how did your Vietnamese father feel about that?
Oh, my mom is Vietnamese.
Oh, your
My
mom's
dad
is
is
Guatemalan. There you go.
My mom and my dad got divorced when I was like 5.
Aw.
Oh, these were with my mom. My dad had no clue what was
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah.
No, for all he knew, like I was just like following the right path. But my mom was telling me all this stuff like you can't, and so that was ingrained in me. But when I went to college, I was supposed to graduate early.
No big deal, she said.
You were
But instead of graduating early, I had like a full semester where I was like, I want to stay and just kind of like take classes.
Yeah.
Fill up like the free courses that I have.
Yeah.
So I ended up taking this poetic ethnography class at Temple University.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the first time where I was surrounded by like a community of artists. And I remember like one of our final assignments was to write a song and like perform it to the class.
Oh, that's so cute.
And so this song, it was finally like my moment.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my goodness, like I'm gonna go off. I remember going to like the temple library and like pulling up the free version of Logic, which I forget the name of it, and like just like downloading a video off YouTube, and I snapped.
Yeah.
And I like went and I performed this song, and like my professor afterwards, she like grabbed me on the shoulders and she was like, Rebecca, my name's Rebecca Gonzalez. Rebecca, like you need to make music. Like your voice deserves to be heard. And that was kind of like one of those like moments where it was like a pivotal, because I had this story of my mom telling me no one's gonna listen to your voice. Then years later, this professor's telling me your voice is important. So that was kind of like what ushered me into like the possibilities of like, wow, like I actually do want to be heard and I have something to say. So let me just like, I was about to get a PhD, like literally wanting to go to Stanford, do all this stuff. But I like stopped and I was like, what if I invested 4 years instead of into the education to like getting a degree? What if I invested that energy and time into music and to see where it took me? So I prayed and I was like, you know what, God, like open the doors if this is what's meant to be, and I'll just take the next step. And I took the next step and like things just ended up opening for me.
Yeah.
So that's kind of just like what led the pathway, and I was like, okay, like I think that people actually want to hear what I have to say.
Yeah.
So until they don't care, and even if they don't care now, I'm gonna keep saying
Keep singing it.
So,
Well, let me ask you about this. How do you identify culturally being Guatemalan and Vietnamese descent?
oh my gosh, packed question.
No, I know. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It got deep out of nowhere.
Yeah. Just
like bare all of your
Yeah.
heart.
Yeah.
pour your soul out, girl.
I identify as a biracial baddie, but the
I love
tea
that.
is that my mom just took a 23andMe actually.
Oh.
And we found out that she was actually adopted and into my Vietnamese family.
What?
And she's actually like a quarter Korean as well. Like one of her parents, or she's half Korean.
She's half Korean.
Ah.
Oh, okay.
So like my Asian side is like a little bit more of a diaspora than like
Wow.
I thought it was. But either way, I grew up Vietnamese, and Hispanic side I identify as a biracial baddie.
Yeah.
How do I feel about that? Like, I mean, you're literally the only person who I feel like can relate to this identity, but growing up I was so angsty.
Yes.
I just kind of felt like my last name's Gonzalez, so I always felt, but people see me and they perceive me as being Asian. And I just kind of feel like growing up I felt like I never belonged. And that's where the
Oh, don't make Cindy cry.
I would go to like kind of like what I touched on earlier. Like I would, one side of the family is like, you're whole. The other side is like, oh, you're like doing too much. Like blah blah blah.
And that just like honestly like puts a then like gap, because it's like these spaces where you're told that you can be safe and is your family and community then becomes a distrust. Then you kind of carry that distrust in other communities, because I'm gonna be like, would you still accept me for being biracial then?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you like don't realize how the projections come off in different ways. But as a kid, it would come off as people like kind of calling me like, I mean, chink, which is
Chinita.
obviously wrong.
Yeah.
My Spanish side would call me La China.
Latina.
First of all, do not call me that. My eyes are big.
Yes.
We got big bug eyes. Where's the chinkiness coming?
Like, if
Yeah,
you
it's
say
a
that
slur.
now that I'm as an adult, like, you're getting it.
Yeah.
But I had to like fight to be like, no, like my last name's Gonzalez. Like I'm not just what you think I am. Like at front base, and I think that's what drives a lot of my music too.
Yeah.
Is this like, I don't know, I like feel like a bridge often. I feel like I'm in between these two cultures, these two families. Like my family's divorced too, so like literally I'm the only one who's this mixture. All my siblings are like, well, my siblings and my mom are Colombian and Vietnamese. So
Oh,
they,
wow.
like,
Oh, interesting.
Oh wow.
it's a little bit of
a mixing pot.
Mhm.
On my dad's side, they're all like Peruvian.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
Just straight up
interesting.
Spanish.
But, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, a thing of like, even if they're Colombian Vietnamese, South American mentality is different from Central American mentality too. So
speak
that
on it.
that's a different type of
Yeah.
vibe there within
Mhm, mhm,
itself. You know.
Yeah.
Oh my god, there was something I was gonna say about it. I wrote this like kind of poem because I'm in this fellowship right now, and I've been trying to explain to them where I feel like I belong everywhere and I belong nowhere. I just feel like the I don't know about you, but I feel like for me I can empathize with people even more, and I think that's what drives me to do community work. You
Yeah.
know, like
Mm.
how long I've been told that like, oh, you belong here, but I never felt welcome. Like that's what drives me to like create a community like VietLish
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like all the other stuff. 1000%.
Yeah.
I agree with that because it's like I think we get it. Like where it's like no in America, like I guess yeah, I was born here, but like no one like thinks I'm American, you know?
Yeah. No.
Even though but if I were to go to Vietnam, I'm American. If I were to go to Guatemala, I am American.
Yeah.
But then here it's like, oh, like I'm just like you can't put me in a box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel forced to. And
Yes.
now I'm
Yes.
just kind of like roar feel the
Yeah.
thunder because like I don't care anymore. Like this is who I am. Like and that is actually what makes this country and this place so beautiful.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
is the fact that there's so many mixtures of people. Our parents
Yes.
worked hard to come here,
Yep.
create a better life for us, and like it is what it is. Like
I love
Yeah,
I
I know.
love that.
I know. I may cry or may not cry. I don't know yet. It's tearing up. I mean, it's getting there. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
It's okay if you do. It's okay if you do.
Well, also because like I think I was trying to explain that very early on through the podcast, where like, because everyone was like, "Oh, of course you belong here and with us." I'm like, I don't think you understand. Because like
Yeah.
growing up, I face the same things. Like even now, when I go back to Guatemala, like some distant family members would be like, "Oh, La Janita," and I'm like, I said, "That accepted. That's how they view me. I get it."
What does that mean?
Like the Chinese.
Oh, Chinese.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha,
it's
gotcha.
not even saying like the Asian one. It's they're literally saying like the little
I don't.
Chinese one.
Yeah, I don't think there's a word for Asian.
Yeah.
Is
There isn't, right?
Wait,
Okay,
is
okay.
Chino just Chinese as well?
Unless you say like Los Asianéticos or something like
Yeah,
that. But it's like
it's not. It
no-
doesn't.
Yeah,
translate
yeah.
Yeah.
I know, like, my friend from Panama, she did tell me, she asked her grandma, and was like, how do you say Vietnamese people? So it's just basically Vietnamita. That's it.
Vietnamita.
But they don't even know how to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chino.
But
They just, it's
Right.
easier for them to say, like, Chinita or whatever. It's easier that way.
It is in the same way where in this country, like a lot of people like just put everyone who's Hispanic in the bucket of
Mexicans.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So like there's a whole diaspora of
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
different cultures and stuff like
Yeah.
in Asia and in Latin America.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Not all Asian people are Chinese.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just the thing. It's like when I was growing up, I grew up very in the Latin like community, but they would like the little kids would call me like Chow or like Janita and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that. And I get it. We were kids. Like I get what you're saying. Like as kids, you're like, okay, this feels kind of weird, but I'm gonna roll with it.
Yeah.
And then when I'm with
I'm
like,
not gonna stop you.
right, but
Yeah.
It
then
is what it is.
when I'm with the Asian side, it was always just like it was always like weird because I wasn't taught to like, hey, kids had to sit over here and adults sit there. So it
Oh.
wasn't like I felt like I was never taught like these are the things you have to do in both, like how we do code switching. I didn't know how to code switch into not even like how to switch into cultures. I didn't know how to do that. I was always goddamn lost. But it's
Yeah.
just like I got a distrust in like within the communities, and I think like it didn't hit until like I got in high school, and then I started hanging out with like the API community,
Mhm.
where like y'all like loved me and held me down. But
Mhm.
even still today, I feel like I have to continuously. I never have to feel like I have to explain how Asian I am.
Yeah.
Being in the Asian community, it's always the Latin side. It's always the Hispanic side. I have to show and prove I'm enough to be in there. I don't know if you feel that way.
That's so interesting because I kind of feel a little bit of the opposite.
Okay.
Really?
But it's because like I was first accepted more in the Latin American Hispanic community here, and I was never able to find like a Vietnamese community.
No,
Like
the
yeah.
Vietnamese community took me in. The Latin side did not take me in. Like, if I tell people I can't speak Vietnamese, it's fine. If I tell people I can't speak Spanish, it's like I feel like I'm down a notch of like being Latin enough.
No,
But I feel like everyone has different experiences, but I think it still correlates that like there's still a distrust because it feels like we're never enough in either or.
Yeah.
never enough, and I also always feel like we had to fight for our space.
Yes.
Like there's kind of no space for, like you're saying, like someone who has no place, like someone who is a bridge. Like I'm just right here in the middle. I see both sides, but I'm not fully that. Like I'm just my own thing.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask Rebecca, like, có biết tiếng Việt không?
Thank you. Just you.
There you go.
So you wrote earlier that like you know, using these experiences, it was writing to your music, right? Has any of like the culture like influenced your work? And do you incorporate anything from like Guatemalan and Vietnamese like into your music, or is it more like you're talking about the experiences through your music?
Yeah, I think that I'm like definitely talking more about the experience than I am incorporating the sounds. It's crazy because you sent me these questions ahead of time and I like read them and I was thinking to myself, and then I went on Instagram and then like I follow like VietQ Media and some other like regular Vietnamese posts, and they were talking about this like artist called like Cindy, like she's a famous Vietnamese artist, was like Cindy something. Let me try to.
Cindy something? Cindy, are you an artist that we didn't know?
Oh no, here it's sorry.
Carol Kim.
Oh, Carol Kim.
Oh, okay, way off.
Okay.
Every Vietnamese person should know about her.
Shout out to Carol Kim.
And I was thinking, like, man, like I really don't know a lot
Yeah.
about Vietnamese music. I mean, like I grew up on the Vietnamese side. They would like sing karaoke and
Yeah.
and so I know what the songs
Yeah.
are like. And
Yeah.
I,
Well-
like, in my music. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, did you watch like Paris by Night?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, there you go. There you go. And then Bang Sun Entertainment. Yeah.
And I think like
I know.
you do know. I mean, like, all Vietnamese.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Certified. You gotta watch it.
But in my music, like, I think that because I grew up, like, I ended up becoming accepted more in, like, the white and black community than I was, like, within the Asian or Hispanic community. So I just, like, grew up listening, you know, to, like, The Weeknd, like, Drake, dare I say,
Yeah.
and, like, music like that. And also because I grew up so sheltered, I, like, barely,
Mhm.
like, could listen to non-secular music.
Yeah.
Or secular music. So when you told me that question, I was like, I need to learn more about my heritage and how to incorporate it.
Oh,
with
Some
okay.
marimbas,
But
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
samples, yeah.
but also I think that it's more like my story is that of like we don't know exactly like where we are, like, but we're heading somewhere and we want to be better. We may not know where we belong,
Yeah.
but like we have the people around us right now.
Yeah.
Right.
What can we build with those
Mhm.
people? Like I feel like I'm like in the middle of a tunnel, but I see the light.
Yeah.
And it's like the
Yeah.
feeling of my music. It's like just like being in the middle of two
Yeah.
cultures
Yeah.
again, like
Yeah.
of two faiths. Like I'm definitely like I love Jesus.
Mhm.
Jesus saved my life. But I'm also like I've had an abortion and I smoke weed and I like to get down on the dance floor. What can I say?
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Little smoky, so ain't nothing wrong with that.
Where do people belong in those faiths?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You know,
I feel
like
you on
I don't
that.
quite fit in with this cookie cutter Christian.
Yeah.
Right,
But
right.
I have faith and I believe. Like
Mhm.
or yeah, like I am the only one educated in my family.
Yeah.
It was like a bachelor's degree from a college. Like where do I fit in between this? You know,
Mhm.
like trying to like weave in like
Mhm.
my family and their knowledge with like the knowledge that I have. Like so, you know.
This little Catholic in me is saying, you don't have to be perfect. Like what the saying that they used to tell me is healthy people don't go to the hospital. like it's the unhealthy. So it's like it's gonna be people who aren't perfect cookie cutters who go to church.
Yeah.
Literally, and
Because-
that's what church is
Mm.
for.
And that's what church is for. But like again, you know, I grew up Catholic. I do love Jesus, but because of the same things that you're talking about, I have like my things with church. I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel
same,
that. No,
same.
same. I actually went
yeah.
to I went to church when I was it younger in my like middle school and elementary school, but then after a while, I felt the same way.
Yeah.
Did your families practice Christianity or Catholicism? Or
Yes, Catholic.
Buddhism?
I did both. I did both
Yeah.
because my family was split in half, like
Yeah.
Catholic
Yeah,
versus
yeah.
Buddhist. But I always say like, yeah, I was born and raised Catholic, but I like to identify as agnostic because I feel like I dabble in the Buddhist faith too, and I dabble in like Catholic. Like, the pros and cons to everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, I actually went to a Hindu temple before. I thought
Mhm.
that was very calming and meditating for me.
Yeah.
Can't speak on other people's level, but I enjoy being agnostic.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's like my dad is like kind of very non-practicing, but he still has like his like Buddha statues and his thing. Like if you come to my house, like it'll literally be like Jesus statues in one corner and like a Buddhist.
Yeah.
They've all seen it.
Yeah.
My mom and dad would go in the room and they pray together and do like their own prayers. And
Yeah.
my dad is very like supportive of my mom and like taking us to church and stuff like that. But he wasn't practicing. But I think like what drove me away was because I love that meditative feel. Like,
Yeah, yeah, that's me.
I just think like what kind of drove me away was like I had a septum piercing at a young age, and like I cut my hair, and I like colored my hair at a young age, and like my mom one day was like, "What would the church think about me seeing you like this?" And I'm like, "What does it matter? Like it's me."
Yeah.
And then it was also just like because I did that, everyone was like, "You're looking for attention and stuff like that." And
Yep.
yeah, it was
Yep.
yeah, it was just things like that that just drove me away from it, which like I always felt like first of all, we're already putting in boxes to then be put in a box within your own faith is not fun.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like I
you're
thought I
right.
was here to like be radically accepted, but now I'm being radically fucking judged.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
These are higher in church. They're all like, "You're going to hell."
Oh, all the
Oh.
time.
Like, honestly, I would not want to be God because I'm sure that decision is a lot more heavier than like your blanket statement.
Yeah.
Like like.
Oh, listen, I tell my parents all the time, I was like, God does not look like Santa Claus. Knock it off. Like, we don't know what he looks like. He could be a floating eyeball, for Christ's sakes. And Jesus was a Jewish man. Knock it off.
Jesus is a Palestinian.
Yes,
Like,
let's talk
let's
about that
go.
for real.
Talk
He
about
was.
He did not have blonde hair, blue eyes. He was not pale. He was brown. Based on the backgrounds.
Wait, I want to hear. You can't slide past this.
Oh.
Yeah, some.
I have
Yeah.
a pretty interesting experience with Christianity. Like when my parents came over from Vietnam, they joined a church just for the community. They're Buddhists, so we all went to church every Sunday just to be with the community. But as we moved to Philly, they dumped that, got the community. Was like, now we're just doing Buddhist now. But I still went with my cousin up until like high school. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
I'm
Yeah.
also only convert from my whole family.
Really?
Whole family practices Buddhist.
Yeah.
Wait, how did she get into Catholicism?
Because of my dad. She met my
Ah.
dad, and
Yeah, he's one of my
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
So that's how it happened. But yeah, the rest of my family, we got the Buddha
Mhm.
temple, the clementine, the bowl with clementine.
Yep. Does your mom pray like how they traditionally do?
My mom does not. You cannot.
It's
Especially
scary.
Convert's
Oh.
so hard.
Yeah.
But my grandma, yeah, she got like the whole.
Oh yeah.
Like the gong.
Yeah.
Dance, and they
Yeah.
offer it. There's like a whole like altar.
Yeah. Yo,
Yeah.
every traditional Asian household has an altar, and they will like pray to that. And I find it very scary when they do it. It gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Really?
You ever seen it?
I mean, yeah.
It's like they
I
do this, and like
see.
they mumble, and like it sounds like they're doing a spell incantation to the devil or something like that. To me,
Oh.
it sounds scary to me.
Oh, they go like,
Yeah.
I know you're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
It'd be like namo, namo,
Yeah.
namo.
It sounds like an exorcism to me.
Really?
Dead ass.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ultimately, like if you listen to the story of Buddha, like I always say, like Buddha
So Buddha was a different
was
Jesus.
Yeah.
he's a different Jesus.
Different Jesus.
No, he was.
Yeah.
Buddha was Indian.
Buddha was Indian.
Buddha's
Yes,
Indian.
he's Indian.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
That's also Asian. So.
But also, like, Buddha never claimed he was God, you know? Like,
Mhm.
but he was, like, definitely divine and touched by the
Yeah.
spirit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I don't know where I'm going with this, but I remember, like, looking into the story of Buddha's
Yeah.
life. Like, and he reached nirvana because
Yeah.
he, like, learned that, like, because he was, like, starving himself for,
Mhm.
like, all these months. First of all, he was, like, born wealthy. And then, like, in the kingdom or whatever, like, and then there
He
was,
saw
like, some sort
suffering.
of prophecy
Yeah.
on him that you can't
Mhm.
see suffering, but then he saw a man suffering.
Mhm.
Then went to starve himself, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, it was when his disciples or whatever were like, please eat this piece of, like, bread or whatever,
Yeah.
was when he reached nirvana.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, like, this is what life is about. Life is actually about taking, like, not, it's about balance.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I guess that circles back to being a biracial baddie.
Yeah.
Space.
Yeah.
For there to be good and good, and there to be more than one truth. Like, there can be a Vietnamese and a Guatemalan and one
Mhm.
person who's also American. There can be, like, a Christian and someone who, like, likes to go out and party. You know?
Snap it off. Snap it off.
So I respect Buddha.
That was such a hot take on religion. Yo, we may not cancel. So, what message do you hope to convey through your music, and are there any upcoming projects or collaborations to celebrate your cultural roots? Yes? Well, tell us. Let us know.
So I think I've been, like, beating this horse to death in this conversation recently. But
Yeah.
the message that I have to convey through my music is that basically, like, as a person who did not believe that I had a place and that I had a voice and that it was worthy of being heard.
Mm-hmm.
So everything that my music seeks to do, and sometimes it comes off very angsty, sometimes it comes off very sexy, sometimes it comes off very confident and just like me, but it is to say that, like, no matter how you say it, you have a space and you deserve to be heard. Everyone's navigating this life in so many different ways, and I just feel like we are to be a bridge in a different way. Like, all of us, like, I just feel like in our communities, with our families, with our jobs, like, where you are now, like, has purpose and has meaning, and even if you're not where you're supposed to be, you can still make the most of this moment, even if it feels like hell is all around you. So, I think that's what my music is trying to say.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, even, like, I'm gonna yell to the top of my lungs, I have a purpose, even when I don't believe it. So.
Yeah, no, yeah, that was a great message. I think a lot of people could relate to that. Me as well. I think everyone here is an artist by choice. So yeah.
Do you have any advice for those who are musician artists who are biracial baddies out here?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Maybe, like, my advice would be, like, what I think it took me a lot of time of, like, pretending to be someone else to, like, accept me to get to a place where I realized I had to accept myself for all that I am and all that I'm not. So I think the advice I might give is just passing on what I heard from Dochi. Just say, like, create what you want to create.
Yeah.
Say what you want to say. Because, like, these days, like, the industry is trying to tell you a cookie cutter formula that A plus B equals C. And I just feel like we're living in times where the script has been flipped, and, like, you saying that odd message that you think no one's gonna hear, someone out there is gonna hear you and find something out of it, and you have to say it. Like, don't hold yourself back. You need to say it. Like, your voice is very important because there is no one else like you doing this. So I don't know, like, just don't try to put yourself in a box, because you'll just waste time. Because I spent so much time putting myself in a
Yeah,
box.
because life is always trying to put us in a
Like,
box. So they don't know how to. That's the only way they can understand us.
Yeah.
is by putting
Yeah.
us in boxes.
Yeah, yeah. It's so black and white for them, but life is gray, dude.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was teaching my nephew, I was like, how about we color outside the lines?
Mhm.
Like, what would the picture be like if, like, we colored all around it?
You just
know?
gave me a mini heart attack. I can't. But my OCD. I'm sorry.
Dude, I thought something happened. We ignore her.
But anyway, we have a very special treat for y'all. We are going to have Rego perform for us on our little Saigon stage. Let's get
With
into
an
it.
exclusive as well. Never drop song. She's singing it here. It's gonna be lit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have
Yeah.
a special guest with me.
Woo!
This is a very intimate performance. So.
I'm wide awake, awake while you sleep. How do you lay your head to rest, knowing that you're hurting me? Can't find the words to say. I'm incomplete. Believe in that love won't search for me, meet me in between. When it's my turn, you're off with her, and I'm all alone. Just what with you did to me. Now I'm up crying, babe, 'cause what you did, your hope it hurts. It cuts like knives, precision deep. Don't need your loving, babe. I'll leave tonight. The person that gets to keep my heart, gon' treat it right. And I've been through turbulence, I landed right. I've been through plenty, but like you, I know your type. But I've turned to violence, babe, a fight to survive. You didn't deserve to take my peace, to take my pride. You'll have to search for me. I've done my part. You'll have to make a brand new life, spill your disguise. No, you don't mean shit to me, no. You don't mean shit. You don't mean shit to me, no. You don't mean shit. You don't mean shit to me, no, no, no. You don't mean shit. Still waiting. You don't mean shit. You don't mean shit. No, no, no. You don't mean shit. You don't mean shit to me, no, no, no. You don't mean shit. You don't mean shit to me, no, no, no. You don't mean shit. Still my pussy, but you don't mean shit. You don't mean shit to me, no, no, no. You don't mean shit. You don't mean shit to me, no, no, no. You don't mean shit. Y'all can say it. You don't mean shit to me, no, no, no. You don't mean shit. Still on my pussy, but you don't mean shit.
Thanks, guys. We're flowing, we're vibing. Here we go. Appreciate it. I just had to get myself in the zone for a second. We can hit it. Okay, so that past song was like the most recent song I just released. This song was one of the first songs I've ever released. So
We can burn some good sage, clear all of the energy. Bring my soul on Sunday. Some been dying yesterday. Grounded still, I levitate. Try to stop a start a day. Balance on the tipping ray. Hey, move past blurry haze. Think this marks on dual phase. The start of something great. Grounded, fun, I levitate. but I still got my joy. 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 New day, so I flipped the course that I paved. I relapsed in the race towards fame. Stone face, Midas touch. Golden rush was better than Medusa's touch. I can't relate. I see my fate. I ain't afraid. I move past the force. I push back the hills. I push back. I love it. I'm punching the thrill. Yeah, we can burn some good sage. Clear all of the energy. Bring my soul on Sunday. Something dying yesterday. Grounded still I levitate. Try to stop the start of day. Balance on a tipping ray. Ultraviolet things, yeah. But I still got my joy. I still got my joy. I still got my joy. Yeah, I still got my joy. Reverb going crazy. We love it. How we doing out there, squad? Thank you guys for coming. I literally love you. I miss you so much.
Over and over again, here we go. There she goes again, I guess. And where she goes, I don't know. It's Rego.
We gon' make the moves. Make it there soon. Find the top real soon. And I'll pray for me, I'll pray for you. We gon' make the moves. Find the top on lose. Crush to find the best as you. I'll pray for me, I'll pray for you. Cause Polly wanna cracker for the show. Ooh, I ain't got no choices, I can choose. Ooh, every day a block and I refuse. But I cried today, I lived today, I spoke my pain. But better, 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 can't control perfection. Always stop a bit, the process got me tender, tender. Bending over, always bending sober. I got all the choices, never got to choose. But we gon' make the moves. Make it there real soon. Find the top real soon. I'll pray for me, I'll pray for you. We gon' make the moves. Make it there real soon. Find the top real soon. And I'll pray for me, I'll pray for you. Better than living lost. I got these exes on my breast who I never touched. I didn't choose, I'm stuck. Diamonds sit on top. Remember me once was. And I tried to trade, but Polly out to mark, she ain't that tough.
Polly tried the cracker, then got lost.
So I reached to find the handle, broke it off. And I'm two steps from the window, still I'm stuck. Polly ate the cracker, then threw up. We gon' make the moves. Make it there real soon. Find the top real soon. And I'll pray for me, I'll pray for you. We gon' make the moves. Make it there real soon. Find the top real soon. And I'll pray for me, I'll pray for you. Man, this song's just like, what are you hoping for? What do you wish for? And you know what? I just wish for a free Palestine. I just wish that a lot of people in America would open their eyes and they can see. Thanks, guys. Okay. So I got 2 more songs. I'm about to reveal a song I'm going to release next month. But before that, hit me with the beg for it. Thank you. Because I'm going to try to go off for this song. So. You wanna see me get low. You wanna see me beg for it. You wanna see me get low. You wanna see me beg for it. 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 No, you don't get it. I ain't acting. I ain't stressing. I see you wrestling around these lofty sessions. I transgressions, trusting in my way to match the bounds. All I ever hear about is how you move around. Talked about a day, night, and never heard a sound. Locked your ground, your mind is locked, you never heard a sound. Hear the trumpets round, like hear the trumpets sound. And you wanna see me get low, you wanna see me beg for it, you wanna see me get low, you wanna see me beg for it, 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 for it.
What's up, Edgar? So happy to see you. Okay. Can we pause really quick? I'm going to release this song next month. I can't wait to invite my friend, talented artist, Lam, over here. Come up here. We made this song probably like 4 years ago or something. 4 years ago, but it's coming out next month, baby. So tune in. Okay, we're gonna have to toss the mic too. This song, much like my music, is just trying to like take the next step to find a better me. And that's what it's called.
Just trying to find a better me. Putting in my linen tree. Putting my best foot forward. Praying for my enemies. They see me and they wanna be, but they don't know what it be. See me when I'm outside. Just trying to find a better me. Feelings, the feelings, the feelings, the feelings gon' fade, gon' fade, gon' fade, gon' fade. It's time to deal with the feelings, the feelings, the feelings gon' fade, gon' fade, gon' fade.
Yeah, let it marinate. I felt it in my bones, you scraped it in the plate. My heart was never full before I got a taste. Sugar on your spirit make me levitate. Another state, this isn't Kansas, babe. My conscience feeling monstrous, I should meditate. I'm lost inside the cosmic on a Milky Way. Silky braid, mama made, sparking on the stoop, I need to start the blaze. You know, burn down the way.
The feelings, the feelings, the feelings gon' fade, gon' fade, gon' fade, gon' fade. It's time to deal with the feelings, the feelings, the feelings gon' fade, gon' fade, gon' fade. Gon' see me and you want that. Seeing different formats, try to keep the topic on something with substance. See me and they want that, but you don't really know me. If you did, you would've shown me. I wouldn't cry watching that movie. If you did, you would've shown me. Now hold me like a hostage. Find me like nighttime when it's daytime. I'll get up, like I get up, I get up, I get up. Yeah, you hurt me and I felt up. That was real tough, but I got up, like I get up, I get up, I get up. And I'll put up like it's nice out when it's bad out. You know I show up, I show up, I show up, I show up. Just trying to find a better me. Putting in my industry. Putting my best foot forward. And praying for my enemies. Pull up, pull up to my spaceship. I got nothing to say, got nothing to prove. Pull up to my spaceship. I ain't got nothing to say, I ain't got nothing to prove. Pull up to my, and in my inner tree.
Certified banger, guys. You guys have to listen to it. I'm so excited. Well, thank you all really for showing up. It absolutely means the world. So yeah, without that's it. To VietLish. Shout out to VietLish. Shout out to Cafe Walnut. Thank you for having me. And you know what? Shout out to you all.
Let's see it.
Okay,
All right.
thank you for listening. Come on, các bạn, for listening in and stuff like that. And come on, Rebecca, for joining us today. So if you ever have any local artists you want us to interview and stuff like that, who are Vietnamese or mixed or biracial baddies, let us know down in the comments. Thank you.
Bye, y'all.